Welcome back to another episode of Learn English Listening and Speaking with Podcasts. I'm Jennifer, and I'm here with Thomas. Today's episode is all about something that affects every one of us, our daily routines and habits.
That's right, Jennifer. We often don't realize it, but the way we structure our day can have a big impact on our productivity and overall happiness. In this episode, we're going to break down common daily routines and explore how simple habits can make a difference.
So let's start with mornings. They set the tone for the rest of the day, don't they, Thomas?
Absolutely. A good morning routine can help you start your day feeling fresh and focused. Personally, I like to start my day with a glass of water and some light stretching. What about you, Jennifer?
I'm with you on the water. I also like to take a few minutes to meditate or do some deep breathing exercises. It really helps clear my mind before the day gets busy.
That sounds like a great way to begin. I've also heard that making your bed as soon as you wake up can give you a small sense of accomplishment, which sets the right tone for the day.
Exactly. It's a small thing, but it creates a sense of order and control. How about coffee? Do you need your cup of coffee in the morning?
I sure do. Coffee is a must for me. It's not just about the caffeine, but also about the ritual of brewing it and enjoying that first sip.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. It's those small routines that make the morning feel structured and calming.
Moving on to breakfast, they say it's the most important meal of the day. Do you agree with that, Jennifer?
I do, actually. Breakfast gives you the energy you need to kickstart your metabolism and get through the morning. I usually have something simple, like oatmeal or a smoothie. What about you?
I try to keep it healthy, 2 eggs or yogurt with some fruit. I think having a protein-rich breakfast helps keep me fuller for longer.
Absolutely, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Even grabbing a piece of fruit or some nuts can give your body the fuel it needs.
That's true, but I also know people who skip breakfast altogether because they're just not hungry in the morning. Do you think that's okay?
It really depends on the person. Some people thrive on intermittent fasting and don't eat until later in the day, while others need that morning fuel to function. The key is listening to your body. Once breakfast is done, Thomas, how do you typically organize your day? Do you go with the flow, or are you someone who plans everything in advance?
I'm definitely more of a planner. I find that if I don't have a clear structure for the day, things can easily get overwhelming. I like to start by reviewing my calendar and making a to-do list. It gives me a sense of control and direction. It's like building a roadmap for the day. What about you, Jennifer?
I'm similar. I like to prioritize tasks. I usually have a list of 3 major things I want to accomplish each day. I focus on those first, and if I get them done, everything else feels like a bonus. I find that breaking my day into chunks of focused work time really helps me stay productive. Do you do that too?
Yes, I use the Pomodoro technique sometimes, where I work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. It helps prevent burnout and keeps my mind fresh. I also try to handle the most difficult tasks early in the day when I have the most energy. By the time the afternoon comes, I can tackle the easier things without feeling drained.
That's smart. I've read a lot about how our energy levels fluctuate throughout the day, and tackling big tasks early on makes sense. It's also a great way to prevent procrastination. If I leave something tough until later, I'm more likely to put it off completely.
Exactly, and I've found that keeping my workspace tidy also helps. It's hard to focus when there's clutter everywhere. It's like having a clear mind and a clear space go hand in hand. Do you follow any rituals to get into the working mindset?
For many of us, commuting is a daily reality. Thomas, how do you make the most of your commute time?
Well, I used to think of commuting as wasted time, but now I see it differently. I usually listen to educational podcasts or audiobooks. It turns what could be a stressful or boring part of the day into something productive. It's amazing how much you can learn just by using that time wisely.
That's a great approach. I do something similar. If I'm on the train or bus, I'll read a book or catch up on articles I've saved on my phone. But I also make sure to give myself some moments of quiet. Sometimes just observing the world outside the window helps me reset mentally before getting into the busyness of the day.
I agree. Sometimes I forget how important it is to give my mind some breathing space. We're so used to being productive all the time that we forget the value of just being still. How do you handle stress during your commute, though? It can be tough, especially when things don't go as planned.
Definitely, I've found that practicing mindfulness helps. If the commute is stressful, like if there's a delay or heavy traffic, I try to focus on my breathing or practice a bit of gratitude. It might sound cliche, but it really helps shift my perspective and keeps me from getting too frustrated.
That's a great tip. I think adding little rituals like that can make a huge difference. I've also found that having a good playlist or calming music on hand can turn a stressful situation into a more pleasant one. It's all about setting the right tone, both mentally and emotionally, for the day ahead.
Exactly. How you start your day, including how you handle your commute, can impact your mood and productivity for the rest of the day. Whether it's through learning something new, relaxing, or simply being mindful, there's always a way to make commuting a more positive experience.
Let's dive into something we all deal with: distractions. Jennifer, how do you handle distractions throughout your day?
Oh, distractions, they're everywhere, especially when you work from home or have a lot of tech around. I've learned that minimizing distractions is key. I usually put my phone on silent and keep it in another room when I'm trying to focus. Out of sight, out of mind, right?
I try to do the same. Phones can be such a huge distraction. I also use website blockers to keep myself from mindlessly checking social media. It's amazing how much time you can lose when you get sucked into the internet.
Yes, absolutely. I also make use of do not disturb modes on my devices during focus work times. Notifications can be so tempting, but if I know I won't be interrupted, I can concentrate much better. Have you noticed that some distractions come from within, like your own thoughts?
Definitely. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to staying focused. I'll think of something completely unrelated to what I'm working on, and suddenly I'm sidetracked. When that happens, I try to quickly jot down the thought and then get back to the task at hand. It's like parking the idea for later.
That's a great strategy. I do something similar by keeping a notepad beside me. That way, I don't feel like I'm ignoring important ideas, but I'm also not letting them derail my current focus. It's about finding that balance.
Exactly. And I think it's important to give ourselves grace. Distractions are normal. What matters is how we handle them and get back on track.
That's so true. It's all about resilience. Distractions will happen, but it's how quickly you can refocus that counts. Speaking of balance, work-life balance is a big part of daily routines, right? How do you manage it, Thomas?
It's something I'm always working on. For me, setting boundaries is key. When my work day is over, I make an effort to shut down my computer and step away from my workspace. I think it's important to create a clear separation between work and personal life, especially when you work from home. How about you?
I completely agree. Having boundaries is essential. I also set a time when I stop checking emails or messages related to work. It's easy to let work creep into your personal time, especially with how connected we all are. But it's important to disconnect and recharge.
Exactly. And I think having hobbies or activities outside of work helps create that balance. For me, it's going for a run or cooking a nice dinner. It helps me transition from work mode to relax mode. Do you have any go-to activities after a long workday?
Definitely, I love going for evening walks or spending time with my family. It helps me unwind and shift my focus away from work. I also enjoy reading, especially fiction, as it allows me to escape into a different world for a while.
That's wonderful. I think we often underestimate the power of those simple pleasures. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, engaging in a hobby, or just relaxing, it's all part of maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
Absolutely. And when you take care of your personal well-being, you're better equipped to handle the challenges of work. It's about finding harmony between the two.
One more thing that plays a huge role in daily routines is our diet. What does your typical eating schedule look like, Jennifer?
I try to stick to 3 balanced meals a day with a few healthy snacks in between. I've noticed that when I eat regularly and don't skip meals, I have more consistent energy levels throughout the day. What about you?
I'm pretty similar. I think meal timing and portion control are key to staying healthy. I also try to eat whole foods like vegetables, fruits, and lean proteins as much as possible. It keeps me feeling full and focused.
That's a great approach. I also make sure to drink plenty of water throughout the day. It's easy to forget, especially when you're busy, but staying hydrated makes a big difference in how you feel and how productive you are.
Absolutely. Hydration is so important, yet it's something we often overlook. I keep a water bottle on my desk to remind myself to drink throughout the day. It's a simple habit, but it makes a huge impact.
It really does, and I think it's also about finding a routine that works for you. Some people thrive on 3 big meals, while others prefer smaller, more frequent snacks. The key is finding what makes you feel your best.
Exactly. Our daily habits around food and hydration have a direct impact on our energy, mood, and overall well-being. It's amazing how small changes can make a big difference.
Another key aspect of daily routines is exercise. How do you incorporate physical activity into your day, Thomas?
I make it a priority, even if it's just a quick 30-minute workout. I like to exercise in the morning as it wakes me up and gives me a boost of energy for the day. Do you work out regularly?
Yes, I try to do something active every day. I mix it up between yoga, walking, and sometimes a bit of strength training. I find that it helps me distress and clear my mind, especially after a long day of work.
I completely agree. It's not just about physical health. It's about mental clarity, too. I've noticed that I'm much more focused and productive after a workout, even if it's something as simple as a brisk walk. Do you have a favorite time of day to exercise?
I usually prefer evenings. It helps me wind down after a busy day. Plus, it gives me time to reflect and process my thoughts. But on weekends, I like to get out in the morning and enjoy nature.
That sounds perfect. I think finding a time that fits your schedule and personal rhythm is important. It's about making it a habit and something you enjoy, not a chore.
Absolutely. Once it becomes part of your routine, it feels less like an obligation and more like something you look forward to.
Speaking of things you look forward to, how do hobbies fit into your daily routine, Jennifer? Do you carve out time for them every day?
I try to. For me, reading and painting are my go-to hobbies. Even if it's just for 15 minutes, I find time to engage in something creative. It helps me relax and take my mind off work. What about you, Thomas?
I'm a big fan of cooking. I love trying out new recipes and experimenting in the kitchen. It's a creative outlet for me, and it also helps me unwind. Plus, I get to enjoy a delicious meal afterward, which is always a bonus.
That's a fantastic way to combine creativity and self-care. I also find that when I spend time on hobbies, I'm more refreshed and ready to tackle work the next day. It's a great way to recharge.
Exactly. I think it's important to make time for hobbies, even when life gets busy. They give us something to look forward to and help create a sense of balance in our lives.
Definitely, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle, but making space for things you enjoy, even if just for a short while, can make a big difference in your overall well-being. Socializing is another part of daily routines that often gets overlooked. How do you make time for friends and family in your day-to-day life, Thomas?
I make a point of setting aside time for the people I care about. Whether it's a quick phone call, a coffee break with a friend, or dinner with family, I try to stay connected. It's important for my mental health and happiness. What about you?
I agree. I think maintaining relationships is crucial for overall well-being. I make it a priority to check in with loved ones, even if it's just a short message. It reminds me that I'm not alone, no matter how busy life gets.
That's a good way to put it. In today's digital world, it's easier than ever to stay connected, but we also have to be intentional about it. I've found that scheduling regular get-togethers or calls helps maintain those relationships, even when life gets hectic.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's about quality over quantity. Even a meaningful 5-minute conversation can lift your spirits and strengthen bonds.
So true, and I think it's important to make time for both your close-knit circle and those casual acquaintances. You never know when a simple conversation can turn into something deeper and more fulfilling.
Yes, human connections are so vital, and it's a part of life that we should all prioritize, even in small ways.
Let's talk about something a bit different: digital detoxing. Do you ever feel the need to take a break from your devices, Jennifer?
Definitely. In fact, I try to have at least one day a week where I limit my screen time. It's hard, especially since so much of our lives revolve around technology, but it feels so refreshing to unplug and focus on the real world. How about you?
I try to do something similar. I'll turn off my notifications and step away from my phone for a few hours, especially on weekends. It's amazing how much more present you feel when you're not constantly checking your phone or email.
Exactly. It's like giving your brain a rest. I found that when I step away from screens, I'm more mindful and creative. It's a great way to recharge mentally.
I agree, and I think it's important to recognize when you're overloading yourself with information. We're bombarded with so much every day that sometimes it's good to just hit the pause button.
Absolutely. I think everyone can benefit from a little digital detox now and then, even if it's just for a few hours. Reflection is another key part of my daily routine. Do you spend time reflecting on your day, Thomas?
Yes, I do. I usually take a few minutes at the end of the day to think about what went well and what I could improve on. It's not a formal process, but more of a mental check-in. It helps me stay mindful and intentional in my actions. Do you reflect daily?
I do something similar. I like to journal at night and jot down a few thoughts about the day. It helps me process my emotions and clear my mind before bed. I think it's a great habit for personal growth.
That's a wonderful way to wind down. I think reflection helps us learn from our experiences and make better decisions moving forward. It's also a great way to celebrate small wins that we might otherwise overlook.
Well, Thomas, it's been a great conversation about the importance of daily routines. From starting the day with intention to making time for self-care, and even winding down with reflection and a good night's sleep, routines really shape how we live.
Absolutely, Jennifer. It's fascinating how these seemingly small actions we do every day can have such a big impact on our overall well-being and productivity.
Exactly. And the best part is, routines are something we can all customize to fit our own needs and lifestyle. It's about finding what works for you.
Right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even small changes, like incorporating a bit of exercise or taking time to reflect, can make a big difference.
Absolutely. So, whether you're looking to improve your productivity, mental health, or simply enjoy your day a little more, it all starts with building routines that serve you.
Couldn't have said it better. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. We hope this episode gave you some inspiration to refine or start your own daily routines.
Yes, thank you for listening. Be sure to tune in next time for more conversations to help you learn English while exploring new ideas.
Take care, everyone, and don't forget to reflect on your day tonight.
See you in the next episode.